Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So the AFL is looking at vaccine requirements for players in the upcoming season, and a couple of players have actually been speaking out against vaccinations. Let me say for YouTube, I'm not either for or against. I am saying your body, your choice. You go do whatever you feel is best for you. But in regards to these players and covering this news, at least one player is refusing to get the vaccination and another is saying that vaccines should not be made mandatory for players. So we're going to take a look at this and see what impact it could have on the league next season. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share this one out and let's take a look. So Melbourne Demons AFL premiership winner Tom McDonald says mandatory vaccines are wrong. That's Tom McDonald there. He won a premiership this season with the Melbourne Demons over the Western Bulldogs. Tom McDonald is fully vaccinated. Just start there. And now here's what he's saying. Melbourne Demons premiership star Tom McDonald is strongly against mandatory vaccinations for AFL players, saying the move would be, quote, ethically wrong. As the league finalises its vaccination policy, another player in the Women's League, Adelaide AFLW player Deni Varnhagen, who is a registered nurse, reportedly has told the Crows she is not willing to have a COVID-19 shot. So she's a registered nurse. So she's one of the people you want to trust with the science who's refusing the vaccination, and she's also a footy player for the Adelaide women's team. The AFL is yet to finalise a vaccination policy, but the Victorian government's requirement about a range of workers, including footballers, needing to be vaccinated or have a booking came into effect last Friday. Now, this is what Tom McDonald said to Channel 9. He said, "I'm vaccinated and most players would have been, but it's ethically wrong to force people to have a medical procedure." That's his words. The key forward said he had supported mandatory jabs for people who worked in frontline healthcare roles or aged care, but not the AFL. He said, "We're on track. We would have gotten 90% of the state, and I don't see why we needed to cause such issues and division by forcing people in many jobs where it's probably not as necessary." That's what he said. Now, here's the other issue, because if you're vaccinated and you're playing against unvaccinated players, a lot of these people who are getting vaccinated are saying, well, I don't want to interact with unvaccinated people because they're making it a threat to me who's vaccinated. That's some logic there. So here's what he said about playing against an unvaccinated opponent. "That's why you get vaccinated, to protect yourself. I don't understand why we need to force other players," he said. 100%. If you're vaccinated, you're protected. If you come in contact with an unvaccinated player, they're the ones who are more at risk. Isn't that obvious? You would think, but no. Now, this is a quick look at the Adelaide Crows women's player. She's a two-time premiership player, and she says she refuses the COVID-19 vaccination. Now, premiership Crow Deni Varnhagen has told the club she currently does not want to receive a COVID-19 vaccination. She's 28 and she works as a nurse. Now, she's in South Australia, not Victoria, so these mandates do not really come in for her unless she plays in Victoria, which is 100% going to happen. So while the Victorian government required all Victorian AFLW footballers to have received their first vaccination by Friday, October 15 as a condition of their work permits, no such rule has been made by their South Australian counterparts. However, South Australian healthcare workers, which she is one of, need to have their first vaccination by November 1. She actually posted a video on social media showing people marching in Adelaide for freedom of choice, and then followed it up with another clip holding a sign that read "Healthcare's hero in 2020, unvaxxed, unwanted in 2021. If you remember last year with all the campaigns, it was healthcare workers, frontline workers are heroes. They've led the way in this pandemic and we should applaud them and revere them. And now, 2021, if they're not vaccinated, they don't get the job. And here's a quick look at that social media post. So she was at that march, thousands marching for freedom of choice, it says. And then that's it there. Healthcare heroes in 2020, unvaxxed, unwanted in 2021. No logic. Now, over preseason, AFLW clubs have the ability to replace players who become unavailable for the upcoming season, usually due to long-term injuries, work commitments, or pregnancy. That would also include people who don't want to get vaxxed, I assume. So are they going to kick out players because they're not vaccinated? I think we're going to see in the next few months what's going to go down, and if players are actually going to be forced to get vaccinated, even if they don't want to, because otherwise they'll be told they won't have a job. Maybe we'll see some players just leave the game as well. Varnhagen, if she doesn't get the vaccination, she can't work as a nurse, and if she doesn't get it, she can't work as a footy player. Pretty sure we're going to see some players not being able to play next season because of this whole vax mandate from the AFL and other employers. Should AFL players have to be vaccinated before playing next season? And will we see a number of players actually leave the game due to these vaccine requirements? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this one out, and I'll see you in the next one.